Did you know that with SRAM's mechanical shifters, you can actually run a 1x13 setup with Ratio Tech's 13-speed guts? Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with the Ratio Tech system, what they do is they actually 3D print the ratchet system that goes inside the SRAM shifters. This is actually a 12-speed system that they have here, so you can actually turn any kind of SRAM mechanical group set into like a mullet setup with a mountain bike rear derailleur. It's a really cool setup they have there that you can do that where you don't have to go axis if you don't want to, if you want to stay mechanical. Well, they also came up with this system here where you can essentially put a ratchet inside the mechanical shifter. It turns it into a 13 speed, has 13 spacing here, which will then make your SRAM rear derailleur also move 13 gears. And then you compare it with a Campagnolo Ekar cassette, which is a 13-speed cassette. And then you have to use, obviously, the Campy chain as well. Now, you may ask, like, why would you want to do this? The reason why is because Campy has some of the best gear ratios and ranges with their 13-speed system. They have nice tight gears at the smaller cogs, and then as you go up to the larger cogs, you have good range, especially with their newer stuff. They have a 1048 13-speed cassette, which gives you plenty of range, and then they also have one-tooth jumps all at the smaller parts of the cassette. So really, that's kind of the main thing about Campy cassettes. Their cassettes are just perfect when it comes to gear ratios. Now, you do have to pair it, obviously, with a 1x SRAM rear derailleur. Another thing, too, you have to do is, because the chain is so narrow with the 13-speed chain, you do have to run different pulley wheels. And Ratio, actually, when you buy the 13C little kit that they sell to you, it will come with these pulley wheels that you just replace out. I got some crud there in my pulley wheels. So what you do is obviously just remove the previous pulley wheels, and then you install these wheels. Very simple to do. 2 bolts here and here, and you can do that. Super easy. You do have to have an Ekar compatible front chainring. Now, what I've done is I have a rotor chainring here, and you may not want to do this, but I did it. I like a larger chainring. I live in Florida, a little flat. I like to have the larger chainring for higher speeds, for group rides, things like that. And because I use my gravel bike as a road bike as well. So this is a 48-tooth oval chainring. I actually just dremeled down the teeth to be smaller to fit in between the chain. You probably don't want to do that, but I did it because that's what I wanted. Now, Ratio Tech will also sell you a chainring, which will work with the Ekar chain, also will work with the SRAM flat top chains and several other chains as well. And they come in a regular 5-bolt BCD pattern of 110 BCD. So this is the chainring that you can buy from them. As you see, beautiful chainring, by the way, made in the Lakes, which is over in the UK. And then you can see it's 12 and 13 speed compatible. And this is a 38-tooth 110 BCD. So for me and my area that's fairly flat, this is way too low of a gear. This is kind of what I run on my mountain bike around here. So for using it on the road, too small. But you may want this if you do run this system, because these teeth will actually fit perfectly in the Ekar chain there. Now, as far as switching out the guts, it's very, very simple to do. It does take a little bit of time to do, but Ratio Tech has an awesome video online of showing how to do that. They also have instructions in their little box that they send to you that clearly show you how to do it. I've been able to do mine. I'm going to pull this over. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the camera, but I've actually changed mine out without taking the shifter off well, I should say without rerouting all the cabling and everything. What I had to do was basically unscrew the screw that holds the clamp onto the bar all the way out, and then this would dangle down, and then you could actually do the procedure. Because that's one of the downsides of this is, a lot of people, especially with all the internal routed cabling and all that stuff, you got to take it off, and then you have to redo all the hoses and everything. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but you may wonder, like, who is this group for? This group is for someone who already has the SRAM Mechanical group sets and you're happy with how they work, you're happy with the braking, you're happy with the double tap, shifting system, you don't want to spend a ton of money upgrading to the latest and greatest products that are out there. So with this system, you can buy this upgrade from Ratio Tech. You can buy a cassette. Now you do have to buy the Ekar Freehub body. So if you have like a DT Swiss wheel, really easy to do. Novatech has them now, and pretty much everybody has the N3W Freehub. So you will have to get the N3W Freehub if you want to run this on your wheel. Then you have to buy yourself a chain. If you don't go with the Ratio Chainring, you'll have to buy a Campy compatible chainring. Understand that the Campy, if you do get a Campy crankset that already has the E13 or the Ekar 13 chainring on it, you'll be fine. But understand that if you do want to go with this system, you're going to have to find a chainring that will work with it, because the current like SRAM 12-speed chainrings, even the Shimano 12-speed chainrings, they are too wide for this narrow chain. Okay, so let's talk about my experience with riding this on the road and on gravel roads and everything. Just like the regular Campy Ekar group set with the mechanical shifting and everything, the main concern, or I should say the main complaint people have, is the sensitivity of getting the adjustments just right. And that is the same case here, because if you think about it, I mean, you're cramming 13 gears into a mechanical system. So if you have any drag in your cable housing or your cable or any kind of sharp kinks or anything, it's going to be a little slower trying to come to those smaller gears as you're shifting through. Actually, on my frame here, I have it routed internally, which is not ideal for this. I don't know if I could rotate it here, but you can see right here, I have all my cabling routed through here. I do plan to run this bike essentially, wireless or electronic eventually. That's why I ran that with that. I do have the option on this frame where I could have routed it through here, which probably I should have done, but I wanted to test the system with these kinks going through the head tube and coming back around. Now it will shift. It shifts good, but there is occasionally you'll get a lag, like you'll shift to go to a harder gear and then you'll hear that and then it'll jump down. That happens occasionally. Also, the other way too. So what I've done is I've actually adjusted the barrel adjuster where it will jump down easier, and then that way when I go to shift to like an easier gear to the larger cogs, I just have to throw the lever a little further. Okay, so once again, very small, annoying little things like that. So it's not as refined as, say, the electronic group sets. But if you're on a budget and you want a 13-speed system without a whole new system, I think it's worth it for that. But just realize you will not have like optimal premium shifting as a complete cohesive unit. You may witness here as we shift through the gears how sometimes it might be difficult to jump down into the smaller cogs here. So right now we are in the 10 tooth. This is a, this is a 1044 here. So we're in the 10 tooth. And then this up here is a 44 tooth. So, all right, so right now we're in gear 1, 2, 3, 4. You see right there, we're kind of having issues getting up. I had to push it a little further to get it to move up to that 5th gear. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So 13 gears. So you see, like, as we were going through some of those gears, it took a little more effort as far as pushing the lever further to get it to move up. So let's come on down. Once again, you may see as we come down, it may get stuck on a few cogs. So we're going from 13 to 12, then to 11. All right, then we go down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. See right there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So once again, you could see how it was delayed in coming down. Now, the faster you pedal and the higher your cadence, the quicker it's going to shift. And sorry, this thing's a little dirty here from, I actually wrote it just yesterday. So the higher the cadence, the quicker it is going to shift through all these gears. So doing the real slow cadence, that's never a fast way for a system shift. So if you ever see people like some groups that are not great, you'll see them, they'll be spinning at super fast RPM, so it will shift real fast and real easy. That obviously is not necessarily realistic if you're, not pedaling at 120 RPM. But anyways, so yeah, so as you can see here, it does shift through the gears, but I'm going back and forth on some of these here. You can see how they, just a little bit of delay. Now, once again, I don't have the optimal cable routing. I have is running through the head tube with the new fancy, through the headset type stuff, which I would not recommend doing with this setup. If I were you, I would run it traditional, not through the headset. Go through a normal port on your bike to make this as straight as possible. As far as compatibility with the different SRAM, derailleurs and everything out there, Ratiotech has a great list on their website also showing you what is compatible with this system, what is not compatible with this system. So definitely check their website out for that. They also have other products that are really, really awesome. So if you do want to go with like a massive mullet setup where it's like a, 10 to 52 tooth rear cassette with a mountain bike rear derailleur, you can do that with Ratiotech. So definitely check them out for that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions about this group set or how it's worked or maybe installation process or anything like that, definitely leave them down in the comments below. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.